All right, all right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and wherever you are, welcome to um, Prosperous TV at this moment. We just want to have some time of a recap of this year mission and vision that you've been having and talking about, and that is pursue, overtake, and recover. That is what we're going to want to talk through now. We are reading the book of 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse number 8. And David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. This is a time whereby David was going through a lot. We look at the first few verses from verse 1 to this verse 8. David was so much distressed when they came out from the war and came back to the city. Ziklag is a place not to stay, is a place of sorrow. After coming out of war, they came in and found that the enemy has taken everything. David's two wives and everybody were taken captive, and everything that they had, all their possession were taken, and they didn't have anything left. And here David came with his men, and when they were here with his men, what is happening? They cried, they lamented until they could not cry anymore. Do you know what? The Bible says they could not cry anymore. They were so much astonished because everything was taken. Everything was taken. And the Bible says in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 7, and David said to Abimelech priest, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. That is after they have lamented. They lifted up their voices and wept until they had no more power to weep. How many times have you gone through this kind of scenario whereby you're faced with a great challenge, a very tormenting challenge that you cannot talk anymore, you cannot say anything? I mean, you are on your last moment. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can say. You have cried, you have lamented, you have crawled, you have said everything. How many times have we been in that scenario? I know so many of us have been in that scenario. But here, we are finding David asking God. The troop wanted to kill him because they came from war. Everything of them were taken and they had nothing. Like you come in, you find everything is taken. Your children, your wives, all your possession, all what you had, your houses are burnt down. Now David is calling for his ephod in verse 7, and he used the ephod. Some of us, we need the ephod in our life. We need to take the ephod in our life and ask God to pursue, overtake, and recover. Now that's our theme of this year. We are having it going on right from January through the whole year, that this year is a year of overcoming, is of pursuing. Pursue everything that you're gonna do, you wanna see in your life. Overtake, and you're gonna recover. This is a year of recovery, and we're gonna recover everything that we've really lost. And let me tell you, in verses that are going on, verse 9, then David went, he and the 600 men that were with him, and came to Brook Boso, where those that were left behind stayed. Having talked to God, sometimes do you take time just to ask God whether you should pursue this matter, whether you should go ahead? Listen, it can be prophesied, it can be said, but actually, do you know that God has given us the mandate to recover? pursue, overtake, and recover. Pursue, overtake, and recover. So that's the theme that has been running on. We know many challenges out there. Many of us are facing great challenges. Victimized, you don't know what to do. I want to encourage you that you have to pursue. You have to keep on going. You have to keep on saying it. You have to keep on seeing. You have to keep on seeing it. You have to keep on saying it. You have to keep on calling God upon it. Like you won't stop until you see yourself in the victory side of it. And that is what David said. After being mocked and being called names, and even some of his men wanted to stone him. How many times have you reached to the end? Like, now God, this is the end of me. I can't do anything. The Bible is telling us that is our time to pursue, overtake, and recover. Our theme of this year. I thank God for man of God, Reverend Julian, for coming up and giving us an authentic message of this year. Like we need to pursue, overtake, and recover. Ziklag is a place of sorrow. We are not called to stay in Ziklag. This is the place where David lamented heavily. He couldn't stop lamenting. This is a place where David cried and he lamented and shed a lot of tears because he looked at his generation, he looked at his people, he looked at his men, he looked at their families, and he became overwhelmed. Ziklag is a place of sorrow, is a place I know some of us have been into. You've been locked out of home. You've been in a terrible situation, sicknesses that have never ended, financial breakdown. You are very much low. You can't afford some of these things. But I want to tell us today that we are coming out of Ziklag. David came out of Ziklag. We are coming out of Ziklag. Look at it. You see, as we are now ending, I want us to get our part of this one. We are getting to go ahead and ahead. And we're going to be going on time by time. Because actually, Ziklag, many of us Christians have stayed in Ziklag for long. You have stayed in a place of no production. The business is not doing well. Things seem to have been lost. Many a times you've tried this one, you've gone to the next one, you've gone to the next one. You've tried to bring it down. Nothing happens. But I want to tell you guys that at that moment, you are in a Ziklag that you really need to shape up and come out of Ziklag. And this is the season, a year of pursuing, overtaking, and recover. Whatever you're going to lose, the years that you've lost, the years the locusts have eaten, you're going to recover it. You're going to recover it. The Bible says many of us have been in Ziklag, situations that are not ending, tough environment, tough situations. You've lost a job. There is no income. You've lost your parents. You've lost your children. You've lost yourself. You have no money left in your account. You look at yourself and you see yourself like you don't have any tomorrow. There is tomorrow for you. The tomorrow you have. It is a Ziklag that you're staying in and you're living in. But I want to advise us that you gonna get out of Ziklag today. You're gonna overcome. You're gonna be an overcomer. David overcame, and you can overcome. You can overcome. When he did it, you can do it. And I want to tell you, as we read on verse 10, and David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 about behind him, which were so faint that they could not go over them. Now, you find that some of them having lamented, having cried, having set their eyes upon, they could not proceed the war. Why? They lamented and they could not cry anymore. They could not see any ahead anymore. What happened? They went off. They told their master, King, live forever. But we're going to not go with you in this war. We're going to remain behind. On the borders of Ziklag, there remains, the Bible says in verse number 10, that 200 abode men remain behind. Remain behind. But I want us to check on this. in our next episode. We're going to look at it more deeply, that the victory came from the Lord, fought the victory for David. And we're going to check this on our episode 2. God bless you. Stay tuned as we come back to see the victory God gave David. You are not going to stay in Ziklag, but you're going to be brought out by the mercies, favor, and the strength of God. Blessings.